Let's start with the board that introduced millions of people to hardware, the Arduino. At its core, the classic Arduino Uno runs an AT-Mega3 28P microcontroller clocked at just 16 MHz with 32 kilobytes of flash and 2 kilobytes of SRAM. Those are tiny numbers by today's standards, but here's the key thing to understand. Arduino is a microcontroller, not a computer. There's no operating system, no multitasking, no file system. Your code runs bare metal, which means it's deterministic and predictable. You write a loop, it executes that loop every single time without interruption. That's actually a superpower for hardware control. Where Arduino falls short is complexity. You can't run machine learning, serve a web page, or process video. But for reading sensors, driving motors, controlling LEDs, or building a simple automation, nothing is faster to get running. It's the foundation every hardware engineer learns first, and for good reason. Now let's step up. Meet the ESP32 by Espressif. And this is where things get interesting. The ESP32 has a dual-core Extensa LX6 processor running up to 240 MHz, 520 kilobytes of SRAM, built-in Wi-Fi, 802.11by/G/N, Bluetooth 4.2, and BLE, all on a chip that costs around $2. Compare that to Arduino. The Uno has no wireless capability whatsoever and runs 15 times slower. The ESP32 can run Arduino code, MicroPython, or Espressif's native ESP-IDF framework, giving you flexibility in how you develop. It also has a built-in Hall sensor, capacitive touch pins, 2 DACs, and multiple SPI, I2C, and UART interfaces. The one trade-off versus Arduino is that the ESP32 is a 3.3 volt device, so you need level shifters when talking to 5 volt sensors. But for any project that needs connectivity, smart home devices, IoT sensors, remote data loggers, the ESP32 makes the Arduino look like a calculator. It's the most cost-effective connected microcontroller on the market today. The STM32 family by ST Microelectronics is what separates hobbyists from professional embedded engineers. These chips are based on ARM Cortex-M cores, ranging from the M0 Plus for ultra-low power applications all the way to the M7 core, the STM32H7, which runs at 480 MHz with a double precision FPU, hardware JPEG encoding, and up to 1 MB of RAM. Unlike the Arduino or ESP32, STM32 doesn't hold your hand. You configure clocks, DMA channels, interrupt priorities, and peripheral registers yourself, usually through STM32, CubeIDE, and the HAL or LL libraries. That complexity gives you something invaluable: deterministic real-time performance and industrial-grade reliability. Where the ESP32 might drop a Wi-Fi packet or have timer jitter, an STM32 will execute with microsecond precision. This is why you find STM32 chips inside drones, industrial PLCs, medical devices, and consumer electronics. Not dev boards on a desk, but actual shipping products. If you want to build something production-ready, STM32 is your training ground. Here's where we make a fundamental shift. The Raspberry Pi is not a microcontroller. It's a full single-board computer, and that distinction matters enormously. The Pi 4 runs a quad-core ARM Cortex-A72 at 1.8 GHz, supports up to 8 GB of LPDDR4 RAM, has a USB 3.0, gigabit Ethernet, dual micro HDMI outputs capable of 4K, and runs a full Linux operating system off a micro SD card. Compare that to the ESP32 with 520 kilobytes of RAM. Pi 4 has over 15,000 times more memory. That gap explains everything. Pi can run a web server, a database, Python script with full NumPy and OpenCV libraries, a browser, even a desktop environment. What it can't do well is real-time hardware control. Linux is not a real-time OS, so GPIO timing on a Pi is inconsistent. You wouldn't use a Pi to generate a precise PWM signal, but you absolutely would use one to process a camera feed, host a local API, or run a TensorFlow light model. Think of it less as a dev board, more as a tiny hackable Linux computer with hardware pins. If Raspberry Pi is a tiny Linux computer, the Nvidia Jetson Nano is a tiny AI supercomputer. And that's not marketing. Jetson Nano packs a quad-core ARM Cortex-A57 CPU alongside a 128-core Maxwell GPU with 4 GB of LPDDR4 RAM and 16 GB of eMMC storage. The GPU is the entire point. Raspberry Pi 4 has no meaningful GPU compute for machine learning. Its theoretical AI performance is around 0.1 TOPS. Jetson Nano delivers 472 GFLOPS of FP16 compute, enough to run real-time YOLO-V for object detection, pose estimation, facial recognition, and semantic segmentation. All locally with no cloud dependency. It runs Jetpack, Nvidia's Linux-based SDK, full support for CUDA, TensorRT, and DeepStream. The trade-off versus a Pi is cost. The Jetson Nano is significantly more expensive and power draw. If your project involves a camera and a neural network, there's no comparison. The Jetson Nano exists in a category of its own for edge AI. The BeagleBone Black is the most underrated board on this list, and here's why engineers love it. It runs a 1 GHz ARM Cortex-A8 processor with 512 MB of RAM and 4 GB of built-in eMMC. So like the Raspberry Pi, it runs full Linux. But BeagleBone has something the Pi doesn't: 2 onboard programmable real-time units, or PRUs. These are 200 MHz 32-bit processors that run independently from the main CPU, executing bare metal code with deterministic nanosecond level timing. That means you get the best of both worlds: a full Linux environment for your application layer and microcontroller-grade precision for your hardware control layer on the same board. It also has 65 GI-PIO pins versus the Pi's 40, more analog inputs and multiple PWM outputs. BeagleBone is widely used in CNC machines, robotics, industrial automation, and anything where Linux flexibility and real-time precision must coexist. The community is smaller and documentation is denser, but for engineers who know what they need, it's irreplaceable. The Tessel 2 takes a completely different philosophy from every other board on this list. It's built for JavaScript developers, not embedded engineers. Under the hood, it runs a MediaTek MT7620M processor at 580 MHz with 64 MB of RAM, running a lightweight Linux environment with Node.js baked in. That means you write your firmware in JavaScript, use NPM packages, and interact with hardware through a JS API. No C, no Python, no new paradigms. It has built-in 802.11b/G/N Wi-Fi, USB, and 2 dedicated module ports that accept plug-and-play hardware modules for things like GPS, Bluetooth, ambient sensors, and servo control. Compared to the ESP32, it's far less power efficient and more expensive for what you get hardware-wise. Compared to Raspberry Pi, it's more constrained, faster to prototype on, if JavaScript is your language. Tessel never captured mainstream adoption, but it represents a real and valid idea. The best dev board for a developer is the one that speaks their language. For a full-stack web developer wanting to dabble in hardware without context switching, Tessel 2 lowers the barrier dramatically. Finally, the Particle Photon, and this one is less about raw hardware specs and more about what surrounds the hardware. hardware. The Photon runs an STM32F205ARM Cortex-M3 at 120 MHz with 1 MB of flash and 128 KB of RAM. Respectable microcontroller specs, similar ballpark to a mid-range STM32. It has built-in Wi-Fi via a Broadcom module and is programmed through Particle's cloud-based IDE. But here's what makes it genuinely different from everything else on this list: Particle's device, OS, and cloud platform. Every Photon is automatically registered to your Particle account, can receive over-the-air firmware updates, publish sensor data to the cloud, subscribe to remote commands, and be monitored across a fleet all out of the box. Compare that to an ESP32, where you would have to build all of that OTA, fleet management, and cloud infrastructure yourself. For hobbyists, that overhead might not matter, but for a startup shipping 500 connected devices to customers, Particle eliminates months of back-end engineering. It bridges the gap between prototype and product better than any other board here. 8 boards, 8 different answers to the same question. How do I build something? Arduino for simplicity, ESP32 for connected IoT, STM32 for professional precision, Raspberry Pi for Linux compute, Jetson Nano for edge AI, BeagleBone for real-time Linux, Tessel 2 for JavaScript developers, and Particle for shipping real products. The right board isn't the most powerful one. It's the one that fits the problem. Drop a comment telling me which one you're using and what you're building. I'll see you in the next one.